And Dr. Tom Slawski has been with SEWFRC for 26 years and serves as the Chief Biologist of the Natural Resources Planning and Management Division. And of course, we all know him as the major force behind this Bi-State Summit. So I'm looking forward to our update from Tom.
Thanks, Cindy. And thanks for this opportunity to talk a little bit about the Southeastern Wisconsin Fox River Commission hat that I wear. So they were established in 1997 and have been a major driver and leader in the Fox River Summit in Wisconsin. Thanks, Ben. Arrow down, Ben, down arrow, down arrow.
Left and right.
Left and right, okay, thank you. And their mandate, established in '97, was to either develop programs or measures to improve water resources in the Fox River, in the Fox River Summit, yeah, right, in the Fox River watershed, and have been actively and very, I would say, what's the word I'm trying to find? Successful, yes, at getting funding, yes, over these years to the tune of millions of dollars. And I apologize, I don't have the numbers, but we have Wayne Jensen who can tell you all about it. He's our treasurer, sitting right there. And but just I just wanted to briefly talk about the original boundary there shown in the bright yellow, and we recently expanded in 2017. And we've been working our way to partner with our friends in Illinois. In particular with Pat and the Fox Waterway Agency and Joe Keller. So we are poised to do that. And I think this has been many years in the development, but later in the program, hopefully you get a sense of what we're trying to achieve. And I think we have the pieces in place to do that. So there are 13 municipalities and 3 counties. We have no staff, just like Cindy's group. And 2 non-voting members, one with the Southeast Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, and Rachel Saber, my DNR compadre, also a non-voting member. So that's the commissioners that make up, and we have a number of regular meetings that we attend. And I'm trying to move, okay. So, we have many projects that we've done. I think Chad Sampson and Jonathan Grove at Racine County are becoming our shoreline specialist for restoration and protection without a doubt. And these are just a couple of examples. The one on the left, though, is the before, not the after. I don't want to misrepresent. Our website does work even on your phone because we have Al Sikora, who's graciously been updating that and keeping it active and useful. And all these projects can be found on the website there. And in addition, a shout out to Representative Chuck Wickers, who helped get us an earmark very recently. It's been the last 2 years that we've been working on this. We were able to hire consultants, Foth and Rez, to help us develop some additional tools, as well as some grant funding opportunities to leverage our money to get more money. And so one of those tools was a story map, and it's being able to share past projects and future projects and current activities and ongoing. I'm not going to talk about that, but it's on our website. That was developed this year. I most want to talk about this table, which basically, these were the challenges. We had 4 main grants. The first was an RCPP grant for our watershed, and we were trying to get nearly $3 million with over $10 million match. Unfortunately, it was not funded, but we're going to talk more about our CCP, and Dean is going to help us with that later this afternoon. So unfortunately, that failed, but we're able to get waterfowl stamp money with a project that was funded, partially funded, mostly funded with Waukesha County, and 2 project pending for both the Army Corps of Engineers and the WSDOT projects that I'll talk briefly about a little bit later on. But each of those totaled more than nearly $20 million together. So we're trying to leverage, and that was the goal, to try and use our money to get more money. And so just other projects they funded, the Fox River Commission has been a strong partner and have made this summit possible. And thank you again for 2024. We're also looking at Fox River site access improvements and the Fox Waterway, the Waterford Waterway Management District dredging project, several shoreline stabilizations that we're working on, including the John Margis Wildlife Area Restoration and permeable pavers, most recently for another site in Racine County. And we're finishing up the study on the stream bank erosion and non-point source pollution prioritization study, and most recently to the Vernon Wildlife Area Ducks Unlimited impoundment restoration for DNR. So that's just some of the projects that we're working on. And we are currently updating our implementation plan where we're incorporating the stream bank erosion prioritization, the non-point ag prioritization. I have a map showing up here, some of those priority parcels. They've already been utilized for the wastewater treatment plant adaptive management permits that have been evolving in the watershed. And I think several of those municipalities are here to talk about that. So these prioritization priority parcels for ag BMPs were integrated into their grant as priority within the jurisdiction, the drainages of those watersheds. So, but we're incorporating those, and we have many more opportunities. And in addition, the Fox River pre-disaster hazard mitigation plan had just been completed. And that was in partnership with the Regional Planning Commission and Waukesha County Emergency Management and Eagle Spring Lake Management Chairman in the watershed. And that's important because there was an integrated look at flooded structures and roadways and critical infrastructures, dam management coordination, flood storage areas, and stream gauge recommendations for installation and management. Some of those maps are over here. And I think it's important because this was done comprehensively. And so we have hotspots in the watershed we knew about. Now we know where they're all at. And we know some of the areas of significant focus and not just flooded structures, of course, but the roadway network as well. And so, and I'm most excited about the floodplain storage areas. Of course, we heard many times, right? We know stuff flows downhill. And so investing in protections, of course, in Wisconsin and bridging that gap, and hopefully the money from Illinois can be utilized in Wisconsin. And it's something we're hopefully going to talk about more examples of that through programs like the RCPP. Dean's going to solve all those things for us. But nonetheless, we have lots of good information and detail that we're incorporating into our implementation management plan. But more, what I wanted to talk about was in Kenosha County. Oh, I should have gone back one. The hotspot lit up here in Kenosha County along the main stem of the river was well known for lots of flooding, and this helps to definitely showcase that. But in addition, it's a little bit difficult, maybe. Oh, it's not too bad to see you with this, but all these outside bands also were challenged and damaging much of the roadway network in and through from Highway 50 basically down to County Trunk Highway C. And through the erosion analysis, nearly 25% of the dominant stream bank erosion was comprised also within that area. And so that combined with the other structures found in flooding within the watershed gave it a great opportunity for larger scale funding, specifically this bipartisan infrastructure law and from the WISDOT program for the Promoting Resilient Operations for Transformative, Efficient, and Cost-Saving Transportation Discretionary Grant Program, PROTECT. Yeah, It's a mouthful, but FOF has helped us pursue this grant, and the big probably difference between that and getting a riprap project or stream bank shoreline restoration, we're looking at an integrated project across that whole reach. So a comprehensive look, both on land and in the water. And in addition, helped us pursue the Illinois River Basin Restoration Section 519 grant with Army Corps of Engineers. So those are the big grants that we're pursuing. And this is the area of interest. And so I wanted to focus in on these point bars, which you can see these bends and the critical infrastructure sites. And you can see and maybe be concerned, like, well, there's probably a lot of homes. I see road networks and lots of homes in through there, all those areas. And then, except if you knew what the county has been up to for the past literally 30 years, they've been buying out all these structures and taking humans off the landscape where they should be outside the floodplain, right? And but nearly all of these structures are publicly owned. And so we have this perfect combination of investments, which 30 years ago started in 1994. I'm hiring new staff that aren't even that old anymore. So we're moving to a generational, it's challenging when you're in this line of work with environmental protection, right, and restoration. It takes decades, but I think we're sometimes poised now finally bringing lots of elements together. So for example, this is just a mock-up of the things that we may be able to do. There's stream bank erosion, so we have opportunities to fix those with deflectors and stream bank protection measures. We've got the floodplain fill, and across these road networks and through here, ideas that we could potentially get funding for removing that fill, remove that infrastructure. So when flooding occurs, allowing it to basically flow across these point bars like it used to, right? And this is some of the challenge in through here where we got failing riprap. The county has really invested a lot of money in protecting this and trying to keep this open and safe. And so there's a lot going on. This is just one example of the kinds of things that could be possible in through there. But that grant also includes land purchases, so expanding floodplain, perhaps even redirecting the channel could be a possibility with this. And these are just some examples of woody deflectors and stream bars that could be used to move water away from these banks and back to the main channel, not just sheet piling and not just riprap stone, but enhancements that are not just for bank protection, keeping that soil protected, but offering fisheries habitat and long-term and functional structures that design to work under multiple low and high flow situations. So it's very, very, very exciting, very doable, and some of these practices are very well known to work. We just need the money and opportunity to install these. And so this is just an example of the sheet piling and closeness that the county's been working on installing. But all they're able to do is protect the roadway toe slope. And there's still lots of problems between here and the rest of the river. And so sheet piling is not enough. And this is just one more example of a nasty bend, but you can see, maybe you can't see it, but the blue area shows the floodplain, and the road there on top is not colored because the floodplain is all squished under this bridge, and of course, all pinched down, and it's creating a massive deep hole in the backside. This is the bottom end of the project area we're talking about. And much like what's going on in the lakes downstream, it's hammering the bank, which is 10, 12 feet tall. So looking at options for floodplain relief culverts, allowing water to move not just under the structure, but through this area. Just another example of the kinds of things that we could potentially do. And not going to be the only thing there, but just gives you an example of the impairments from the past and that can be fixed. And I think with that, that's it. Yeah.